Welcome everybody to another episode of Command Combat Battle Reports. Today we've got an interesting one, a 6-player game, 3-on-3, of the Prussians, the Maratha Confederacy, which is India, and who are these guys way down here? It's the United Provinces. Okay, that's on one side, versus, I saw the US over here, Britain, and Sweden. So the U.S., they're set up. They have a lot of infantry out front. U.S. Marines. Oh, okay. All up front. So expensive, heavy troops. All U.S. Marines with some Pioneer Raiders behind them and Lee's Legion behind them. On the British, we've got skirmishers on the front. On their right side, it's our left, with the Royal Winch. Wait, is that right? Royal Welch Fusiliers, not the Winches. 33rd Foot behind them, light infantry, and it looks like some Coldstream Guards. So all of them are different guards. Alright, and then the Black Watch, and then we have some green jackets up there, skirmishers, with the regiment of horse back there. Alright, then over here we got the Swedish. They have a little bit of an interesting setup. Oh, it looks like they're fully swinging around the left, so they're sending all of their infantry, their grenadiers, following their cavalry around here, and some regular regiment swing around at these guys along with their 24-pounder artillery to go after the United Provinces. The United Provinces, meanwhile, setting up with their artillery to fire and some riflemen on their flank, Swiss infantry and Scots behind some regular riflemen. And they're going to defend. It looks like the Indians are going forward with all their elephants. Ooh, here we go. Elephant musketeers and general's bodyguard and war elephants and elephant. So. And meanwhile, they've got their Sikh musketeers moving forward. Oh, and their artillery going to the front. So it looks like they're going to just sort of push forward and try to pound the British infantry, maybe get in close enough to use those elephants. And meanwhile, they got some horsemen over here on their flank. Right next to the Prussians, who looks like they are moving all of their infantry over here towards the Indians. They're going to just completely ignore their flank against the Americans, leaving some cavalry behind to hold them in case they do anything, but it doesn't look like the Americans are doing anything. It looks like they're staying put. So as the Indians push forward, it looks like the British are staying put, standing where they are, and the Americans are pushing forward a little bit on their flank, so maybe they'll envelop since the Prussians are pulling back behind the Indians. Meanwhile, the Swedes, well, it looks like the Swedes are ignoring their group also and just enveloping over here the Indians. Looks like they're going to try to do something where they are on one flank and the Americans on the other, while the British hold in the center. They seem to realize that the United Provinces aren't doing anything. They're just saying, they're not even setting up their artillery. They have set up, oh wait a minute, no, they have. They've set up these spikes, but not much else. They're really in a very clearly defensive position. Well, it looks like the United Provinces are going to send over their cavalry. So it looks like the action is probably going to happen all here with the Indians. With the Indians. Looks like the Prussians are setting up a defensive position here to guard against the flank. So it looks like they will probably create a defensive line here, with the Prussians holding the left, the Indians holding the center, and United Provinces as well holding in their own sort of. Well, they do have their cavalry set up. It almost looks like they're set up to attack the Maratha. By the way, I apologize for my incorrect pronunciations. It's pretty regular with me. Alright, well, it doesn't look like there's a lot of firing going on. Well, here we go. So they're firing at the Swedes now, realizing they're the ones more likely to come in since the British are staying put, or even possibly going back, it looked like a little bit. So the Swedes are getting ready to fire back and send in some infantry. Uh-oh, they're going to shoot their own guys. Ooh. And they are sending in their infantry, which would be the perfect time for the United Provinces to come in on their flank, but they're staying put. So you got them coming in on the Indians' flank there, and you got the Americans enveloping on this flank. But of course, they are going to have the Prussians to deal with over there. Are the British moving in? No, the British are staying put. They're just going to hold them in place right in front of them. Doesn't look like there's any artillery on their side, though, so they're not going to really do anything. So it's really probably going to turn into the Indians versus the Swedes here, it looks like. Or the Maratha, sorry. It's just a lot of people I don't think a lot of people know what Maratha means. So I keep wanting to just say Indians. Alright, so it looks like they're going to send their Pendari horsemen in through their infantry to hit the Swedish cavalry. Bork, bork, bork. Sorry, I had to put some Swedish chef humor in there. Well, it looks like they're breaking up their cavalry there. I'm not sure why they're doing that, but they're going to go ahead and just rush over here with their cavalry, take out some of these riflemen, which is probably not a bad idea. The Swedes are alone there, and oh, knocked them out. Yeah, they're already causing them. So basically, they're picking off that little bit that's there. And here come the elephants. There'll be elephants with some ticks up there, so it looks like they got some veterancy against a regiment of horse. You can see in the background the Americans are getting ready to go after the Prussians there, but nothing quite yet. And those elephants are going far enough forward now that it looks like they are going to be committed. And meanwhile, you've got the Maratha cavalry skirmishing with some Swedish cavalry, and you've got the United Provinces have finally brought in their cavalry to hit the Swedes in the rear. So it looks like the Marathas and the Swedes, or the United Provinces, might actually get the Swedes here. Oh, and look at those people going down. They are just chasing them down. That guy got a tusk in the ass. I hate when that happens. Meanwhile, oh, it just looks like the British just moved forward. While we were looking close up, they actually have pushed forward. So now you've got an development of the Swedes and the British up against the Maratha here. So the United Provinces are going to have to move into this in order for the Maratha to have a chance. Let's see how they're doing. Well, it looks like the Swedes have finally moved forward. And they are hitting... Oh, I'm sorry, the United Provinces have finally moved forward. Oh, wait. No, they haven't. They're still sitting here in a defensive position, while the Swedes and the British beat up on the Maratha, but the Maratha's kind of holding their own. So look at these elephants. They're really knocking people around. But after their first strike, they're usually not quite so useful, which is what happened historically. They were very useful in one strike, and then they pretty well got demolished. Now, you do have this artillery here is really pounding them with grape shot, but we'll have to see if it's enough, because it looks like they're completely concentrating on the Swedes while the British are getting in their faces. It looks like there's going to be a Swedish charge here. Nope, they're getting into position to shoot. Yeah, oh, it's a pretty devastating blow to the Maratha there. Meanwhile, how are these elephants doing? Well, it looks like they're holding on. In fact, they actually are kind of kicking some ass. Oh, these elephants have retreated. Oh, there. I like how you can see some of the last ones there. Meanwhile, the Swedes are kind of pushing forward with some cavalry, and oh, it looks like they're going to actually hit some of this infantry while it's in motion. That's not good for the Maratha. But the Maratha are going to bring in their elephant musketeers. Looks like, meanwhile, the British have really pushed forward and are causing a lot of the Maratha main line to retreat. It's only these last guys, the Sikh musketeers, who are holding on. Meanwhile, the Prussians have quite a bit of artillery here to go against the Americans, but they're behind the skirmish line, which is really getting hit hard by the Americans. Oh, and the line is stretched way over here to the left. Looks like it's just trading fire over here. Well, they're not even doing anything. The Americans are coming forward. Oh, now they're all moving at each other. Are we going to have a general charge here? Nope, nope. They're both going to stop and look at each other again. Alright, well, what's going on over here? Looks like skirmishers on one side and line on the other, and skirmishers are probably going to win the firefight in that regard. Americans are rushing forward. Oh, and they are going to take this artillery. That's it for that artillery there. What's going on with the Maratha versus the British over here? Oh, the Maratha seems to have rallied, and they are actually fighting back now, although the elephants seem to be done for. And that seemed to be their main line, including their general, so they are all dead on the field here. Meanwhile, United Provinces have finally moved forward. Now they're going to be fresh and in full strength, while the Swedes and the British are exhausted. Oh, the Swedes are pretty well done for, so it looks like the Maratha push them off. Well, you still have some Swedes over here, but they're probably going to be pretty damaged and exhausted. The British are barely used, but they're still having to fight the Maratha, so really it's going to come down to can the Maratha do enough to the British that they won't be very useful against the United Provinces. Now, of course, the United Provinces might have just simply be too late. Well, while they get in position, let's go over and check out Americans versus the Prussians. Well, now they've taken out their artillery, they're coming around to the rear of the oh, and here's the general's bodyguard. They're probably going to take them out, but in general they're getting into the rear of the Prussian lines. Looks like they're going to probably take out that bodyguard. Well, meanwhile, the American lines have caused the Prussian lines to retreat, and so they are just basically moving past their survivors and coming into the rear of the Maratha line, which is already having trouble holding on. In fact, it looks like they only have a couple lines left. They're going to just sort of stall the British as long as they can, while the United Provinces winds up taking on all three of their enemies. Oh, it looks like the Maratha are making one last desperate charge here. Nope, 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 they're just going to get into place. Ooh. Well, they're just kind of standing there, not really doing much. There we go. See what kind of damage they're doing. Well, there isn't a lot against them. I mean, the Swedes have been quite damaged, but with the British or the Americans pretty much at full strength, I think the United Provinces are pretty well done. They just waited too long and had a nice defensive position, but didn't really do anything with it. When your buddies are all getting beaten up and you're standing around, this is kind of what happens. Well, it looks like they're going to go ahead and do a charge there. Oh, one guy taking out two guys there. I like that. Oh, beat up one guy. Checking his buddy in. Ah, gets him in the throat. And now they're going to take on the British. The United Provinces just take on everybody. Here come the Swedes. Not sure where they're charging. They're just going to... they'll charge the carcasses of the elephants. There we go. Provinces will try to fill in their lines, but I just don't think that is going to be enough. Do we have anything left of the Prussians or the Maratha? It doesn't look like it. They're pretty well taken care of. So, what can the United Provinces do here? Fill in with a few more of their troops, the Green Jackets, who were standing around waiting, but now they're like, oh, let's just put an end to this silliness. But the United Provinces does have a second line here, so it's going to drag on a little bit longer. Not sure they have much of a chance, but they will give it their best. Now they seem to be just firing at will at this point. And, oh, looks like they have enveloped. Let's take a look at this. Oh, yes, the Americans even have troops behind them. They have gone all the way around. Oh, although, they're just going to run up and take out that artillery there. Looks like there's howitzer. And now they're going to go on to the others, so that's pretty well done for. And the British are around and pretty well completely enveloping the United Provinces. What's left of them? What is it, right? Just regular riflemen. Their specialty units are gone. Bodyguard is going to go on and take the Welsh, the Fusiliers, or as I was calling them, the Witch Fusiliers. I kind of prefer that. Looks like the United Provinces is pretty much. Well, these guys aren't officially retreating, but they are pulling back. I'm not retreating. I'm just pulling back. Yeah, that's the ticket. And they're surrounded on all sides, and here come the Americans on the flank. They're just going to chase them off the field there. Well, it looks like that's going to be about it. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch us on Facebook and all that sort of thing. Happy gaming, everybody!